Hey guys, I'm Jen.
I'm Wiley.
Welcome back to the channel. Today, we want to talk to you guys about hard decisions.
Yeah. So I want to give you guys a quick backstory of what we have going on. If you followed the channel for a while, you already know. We have a lot of new people here that don't. So in 2020, Jen and I started a meal program, I guess, where we have been feeding our community. We feed about 100 people on average every week. We cook a good home-cooked, home-style cooked meal.
Hearty, delicious, packed full of goodness.
We feed it free of charge to anybody that's hungry in the community. And like I said, somewhere around 100 people a week. And we've been doing it since 2020. Religiously. I mean, it's every Wednesday. We started out on Saturdays. We had people tell us that there was a little hole to fill on Wednesdays, so we moved our program to Wednesdays. We've got a lot of time and a lot of money invested in doing what we're doing.
By the end of 2021, Emmanuel Episcopal Church in Shawnee, Oklahoma invited us in to use their commercial kitchen and their dining hall. This was a huge blessing as it was December, it was getting cold and wet. There were several days we had to feed people out in the rain. And
because we was doing all this in a park. We was setting up a shade tent and the foldable tables, and we was cooking everything at home and taking it to the park and serving it. So
we started cooking in our 500 square foot tiny home. Our kitchen's very small. When we first started, we were serving about 20 or 30 people per week. And as we were growing, the church invited us in, which was a huge blessing because at the point of when we started serving 100 people plus, that's not something that we could prepare in our kitchen and follow food safety standards to keep everything warm and at a good temperature. So we would not have been able to do what we did without the help of the church. However, in our last meal that we served was in June of this year, and the members from the church had come to us and asked us if we could take a break because there was church members going on vacation and other members were having surgery, and there just wouldn't be anybody available during the week to let us into the church and stay there the whole time, we were there. And so we haven't served a meal since June.
Yep.
Yeah.
The community has a real strong hate for the homeless population.
Very strong hate.
It is actually a really big deal right now in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Yes, there is a lot of homeless. Nobody knows why, really. But the community is putting a lot of pressure on a lot of people right now because of it, and there's just a lot of things going on that's making it harder and harder every day. They've passed laws downtown to where the people that was feeding downtown, they can't even bring it down there anymore. They're starting to write tickets for it. It's a big deal, guys, and
Right.
And it's putting a lot of pressure on a lot of different organizations in the city because of it. I know before this all happened in June, we started having some issues with, they didn't want the people to bring their dogs to the church, and it's understandable.
It's understandable. We can totally take the side of the church on this as far as, if you're a pet owner, you need to be a responsible one. And so if your dog makes a mess in a business or on a sidewalk or whatever, you should clean it up.
Right.
However, that wasn't the case. And so there were some issues with dogs. There's some people who refuse to keep their dog on a leash despite city ordinance. And the church was concerned that somebody might get hurt from a dog not being on a leash. And some dogs are aggressive, you know. We don't recall having any of those issues where dogs got into fights
No.
or anything like that. So, but we can understand where the church is coming from,
Right.
because they would ultimately be the ones liable if somebody got hurt. So we can totally respect that.
With that being said, most of you know that Jen is having surgery the end of the month, the 31st of the month. So that is going to put her down for
At least 2 months.
quite a bit of time. Yeah. 2 months minimum. I mean, you're looking
Right.
at really for a full heal, you're going to be a year.
18 months
Yeah.
is its full recovery
Yeah.
from this back surgery that I'm going to have. So, while everybody was gone in June and July from the church, now we are going to be gone August, September, October, and probably into November.
There's really no telling. I mean, we
Right.
have no idea.
I don't know how well the surgery is going to go. I don't know how I'm going to recover from surgery. I don't know how quickly I'm going to be ready to get back at it. Cooking a meal for that many people is time consuming, and it's a lot of work. Wiley and I have done really good at it. We're a really good team, really, when it comes to anything. But to stand in a kitchen on a hard floor for several hours in a row isn't going to work out right after I have surgery. So we are a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization. However, over the past year or so, our program has primarily been funded by us.
It's actually been ever since we started.
Yeah,
I mean, it's 75% funded out of our pockets.
And now we do this because we love to cook. This is something that we have felt like God has called us to do. And we believed wholeheartedly that if He was to give us a job, that He would make sure that we had the tools to get the job done.
Right.
And we have maxed out a few credit cards to help us fund this program. We have also, come out of pocket a lot of money on this. And it is to the point where we aren't fully funded. We can't, it's financially irresponsible to continue. So, because of our lack of funding, recently we held a fundraiser on GoFundMe. We raised a little over $1,000, which might be enough to do 1 month. But with my surgery coming up, it's kind of, these people, there's no way to notify people when we're going to be at the church and when we're not. And so it's something that we have to be really, really consistent about. And I think that it would be a bad idea to serve a meal for 3 weeks and then be off for another couple of months.
Yeah. So the fundraiser, what was it? I want to say it was $1,017, something.
I think so.
Something like that. We was shooting for enough to get us through the end of the year. That's not anywhere close to that.
Groceries cost a lot, and we try to use our money as wisely as we can in our personal life, as well as our our nonprofit organization. So when we find food on sale, we stock up on it, and that way it keeps our food costs as low as possible. But anybody watching this video, if you've been to the grocery store in the last year, you know how expensive food is.
Yeah. So I think things are going to change a little for us. I know things are going to change a little for us.
Things are going to change a lot.
A lot for us. Yeah.
A lot, yeah.
So the board pretty much has decided that if with the funds that we've raised, because it's not gonna to get us through the whole year. We have the contacts, we know the people, and there's also people reaching out on Facebook all the time, needing help. So we're going to take the funds that was raised through the fundraiser, and we're going to help individual families stock some freezers, get the refrigerators stocked up. So we've decided that's the way we're going to do this with the fundraiser. We're going to stop feeding at the church. that is because of the surgeries, because of, we've already been out of the loop for a couple of months now. We're going to stop that. We're going to focus on more individualized stuff. We're going to do, with the funding we got from the fundraiser, we will be focusing on more individualized things. We will probably be making videos as we do that, show you guys the impact it's having on individual families. That is kind of hard to do because of our privacy concerns and things like that. But we'll figure out a way to make it work.
We can blur out faces.
Yeah,
and
to keep
things
you
like that,
to keep you guys involved. We'll figure out a way to make that work.
right. But we really want to make it clear to everybody who donated to our fundraiser that we really, really appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for your kindness, your compassion, your support, and thank you for wanting to help people that you don't even know.
Yeah. That says a lot about the character of the people.
Right.
That is absolutely a blessing.
The money that you've entrusted us with will still go to feeding people. However, it's going to go towards feeding families instead of the community as a whole.
Yeah.
And this is a decision that was unanimous among our board of directors.
Right.
We are a nonprofit organization, so we do have a board of directors to answer to. So through our community service work, we've helped a lot of people. But this break that we've had the last couple months has really opened our eyes to the fact that we have spent more time focusing on helping our community than our own family. And what I mean by when I say that is we need to be spending more time with our kids. We need to be, instead of putting ourselves in debt to help other people, we need to be getting out of debt, and we need to be improving our life.
Right.
There's a lot of things that we have put off for ourselves so that we can help other people. And we just feel like with everything that's led up to this moment that, as I had said previously, when God gives you a job, he'll make sure you have the tools to do it. We feel like he gave us a job, he gave us the tools, we did it, and now we don't have the tools anymore.
And it's so time to move on.
I feel like he has another chapter for us. So we are looking at a new beginning.
Yep. We bought almost 7 acres in Arkansas. We're going to start completely over. That is actually going to benefit us as a family. Going to hopefully bring everybody closer and just start a whole new chapter in all of our lives and start over. Hopefully, we really feel like this is something that we're being led to do. So we're hoping that whenever we get there and get everything started, that our mission's going to grow there. And
we will be keeping our nonprofit status because I don't know how to say this. Ultimately, we are open to God leading us. So we will be looking for opportunities to serve God and to serve others. However, where we would like to see it go. It's not always about what we want, but we have talked to many of our friends in Arkansas, and they are really compassionate and really passionate about helping other people too. And so once we get to Arkansas and we get settled, we can come together as a group and we can do things like a school supply drive for underprivileged kids. We can find an old vet that's disabled and needs a wheelchair ramp and build him one. We can, or him or her, we can find an old lady whose roof is leaking and we can fix her roof so her home is safe to live in. And these are the things that we want to focus on. We want to impact people individually or families. But we feel like the most vulnerable of our population are kids, elderly, and vets.
But that being said, God is leading this. I mean, wherever it takes us, it's going to take us.
Mm-hmm.
That may not be what happens. We
may have something totally different in store for us. I don't know.
We may see something totally different whenever we get there. We may. I mean, our main goal is to build our relationship with our family, and keep our relationship with God, and allow Him to lead us in the direction that He wants us to go. So to sum it up, guys, the fundraiser didn't go as planned. Didn't go as we hoped. We're going to have to change directions. Obviously, most of you guys know what direction that's going into. But we are still going to continue, to help people here as long as we can, with the funds that we was able to get. And we're going to start completely over in Arkansas. That's really about all there is to it.
Yeah. Again, thank you to everybody who donated to our fundraiser. We really, really appreciate you. Your dollars will still make a difference. However, they will make a difference. Your dollars will have a larger impact on families and individuals rather than the community as a whole.
Right.
Yeah. Well, guys,
this is not the easiest decision we've ever made, guys.
This is something that, sometimes when you do something good, I don't know how to explain that. We've really enjoyed serving our community the last couple of years. We've gotten really close to a lot of the people that come and serve meals. And it's really, really hard to say this because I almost feel like we're letting them down.
Right.
But unfortunately, I feel like God has quit providing the tools necessary to get the job done. And that, to me, is a sign that we did what He asked us to do, and we are awaiting our next assignment.
Right.
So I don't think that, from a business standpoint, going into debt is not the best route.
No.
And at this point, if we continued, we would be in about $11,000 in debt by the end of the year.
Right. And that would take away from doing anything for ourselves.
Right. Yeah. And we have to start using our money to better our kids' lives, and provide better for them. Because honestly, we've kind of put serving our community above all else. Which, I mean, we kind of look at it as serving God, and we put it above all else. Well, guys, if you would like to follow along with our new journey, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you get to see everything going up from the ground up. And we really appreciate you guys. We really appreciate everybody who's watching. And everybody who has supported us, and everybody who's sharing in our excitement for our new adventure. One last thing, be looking out for a name change in the near future.
Very near future.
We have not come up with a new name for our channel yet. We will be. We've been praying about it and waiting on God to tell us, kind of lead us and guide us and tell us what He wants us to do next. So,
yes.
Don't forget to check out this playlist over here or the video over here. Thank you guys. Have a blessed day.